Hey Patreon, once again, guys, thank you for your support. So, guys, I've been looking at changing up my defense once again. Always the first couple of weeks you want to settle in at something. I'm a big match player, defensive match player. So for me, I want to find match coverages that are going to help and also stop certain things. What we're going to be looking at is going to be the dime 2-3 package. This is a dollar type stuff, but it's actually dime. It's 3-2. You could find this in the 46, 49ers, the Chiefs, the Jets, the multiple D playbook, and the Saints and Texans. The only reason I stumbled onto this formation is because I inadvertently had the Texans selected as my team, and as a result I was scrambling into a game just to try to find defense, and I stumbled on this and realized this is a better defense than I really expected. I've never really been like a dollar person, but this might be the defense I want to use because it does have match features. So your audibles are the following. You have basically cover 3 lock, hot blitz 3, cover 4 drop, and the Tampa 2 drop. The first audible I want to switch into is removing the cover 3 lock, and I want to go ahead and use cover 4 quarters. This is not a defense to use a lot, but this is a very, very good defense to use now. We're going to leave the hot blitz 3 as our defense setup. We'll probably jump into this a couple different times. The cover 4 drop, I want to swap that out, and the play that I like to use is cover 3 hard flats. Surprisingly, this is actually a pretty good defense, and this is good to take away concepts such as mesh. Mesh is a very popular concept that most Madden players have in their playbook. And then the Tampa 2 drop, you can leave this play in here, but I think what I'm going to swap it out for is a play that actually is a little bit underrated and something I actually have used previously in other Maddens and actually had to manually adjust into it, is the cover 6 Willie. This has got a palm coverage on the left side, and it's got a cover 2 man on the right side. This could really catch your opponent off guard and allows you to actually use a couple different players to set things up. So now out of the huddle, first and foremost, we want to make sure we shut off the auto flip defensive play call. I want to have that off. Auto line, we're going to have base, and then option, defense, conservative, strip ball, and tackling conservative. These are my preferences. You don't have to use these when it comes to option, strip ball, and tackling. Option, I would definitely keep conservative because we want to make sure we take away any kind of read option. Now, out of the huddle, we're going to go ahead and call basically a cover 4, or the double safeties go. And what I would recommend doing is probably changing your alignments to actually maybe a cover 2 shell, so you can show your opponent pretty much the same type of stuff. We're going to run basically a DB Fire safety go as our base play. Now, from this, we're going to go ahead and use random shotgun pass plays, but you can see that this is actually effective against the run and whatnot. One thing I want to let you know is that you always have an instantaneous blitz that you can use against your opponent. All you have to do is just go ahead and hit your left D-pad and blitz all. And then what I like to do is user the safety that's going to be over the third wide receiver is our user person, and we're going to essentially go ahead and try to take away any kind of a fast read, and the pressure typically will get in. It's more ideal to have the pressure coming off from the opposite side. We're going to go ahead and user this guy. Watch how that safety will shoot the gap and get in. And our responsibility essentially is to try to go and stop this type of stuff. Now, things that you can do to make this defense a little bit tighter with the blitz is do underneath coverage or inside coverage. And this will allow you to go ahead and have a little bit better coverage and not allow anything deep. My responsibility is to play that tight end over the middle and make sure he doesn't hit me in the seams, but you can see the coverage is right there, and he has to get rid of that ball really quick. So here's your blitz that you can use against your opponent, inside shade, and we're going to go ahead and just basically defend the running back to the outside. Don't give him a fast read, and hopefully go ahead and get some type of a pickoff from there. So let's set this up, and then we're going to do an inside shade and see if we can go ahead and take away any kind of outside pass plays right there. So the angle route actually caught me off guard. I'm not going to keep doing this, waiting for the pressure to happen, because we're obviously in a lab mode. Now, what you can do too is that you can go ahead and set this up where you're going to hit your opponent with some type of coverage. So what you could do is take your outside defenders, your safeties, put them in curl flats and drop your one guy into a deep zone, and then just man up this guy right here. And this is a way that you can actually go ahead and just have a lot of coverage out there to really mess your opponent up when you have that set up. You don't necessarily always have to have it on that one side. So, there's always just different ways that you can do this when you see this setup. So let's go ahead and jump into some of the coverages that I'm going to go ahead and quick audible into. Cover 4 quarters is just a really good quarter defense. What I like to do is bunch the line up and actually drop my guy down. And the reason why I want to drop my guy down is I want to go ahead and have the offensive line basically look to block him. So you do that where you see that little green icon right here with a check mark. When you do that, that means the offensive line, it has to say, okay, I got to take this guy on as a potential blitzer. And then we're just going to essentially cover things up. Now, what I'm seeing with cover 4 quarters is that this is a really tight defense. This is a nice defense to go ahead and jump into. So let's go ahead and jump into cover 4. And another thing, too, is if I've got 3 defenders on one side, I can go ahead and take my inside defender as a 3 rec. I can actually put him into a hard flat. That takes away any kind of flat route. My responsibility is to play in the middle of the field. But you can see double teamed out there with the flat route, and I had a lot of coverage over the top. So let's just go and take a look at an instant replay on why this cover 4 quarters rolling down is really good. You can see the defenders actually, basically these guys are locked up. I've got this guy over the top. Cover 4 quarters actually plays really good over the top coverage. So he's not likely going to get beat over the top. And you can see this guy actually comes down. I've got a little hitch route that is got a guy over the top, and these guys are double teaming this guy over the middle of the field. So coverage is really solid with cover 4. I just think it's a really good coverage to go ahead and use in your scheme. If I've got 4 wide receivers off to the right side, I'm actually going to go ahead. My adjustment is put a hard flat out there to take away any underneath routes, and I just have to kind of play over the middle of the field. So that's kind of my responsibility to jump on that 3 over there and making sure that he actually doesn't catch anything. Now, if I see a coverage like this where I've got 3 wide receivers, I can do this once again. I'm just going to go ahead and motion this down, put a flat out there. And this kind of allows me to, pick up stuff like so. So what I like about it is it's just got really good blanket coverage. Now, so really quick adjustment. We're going to go ahead and do a quick linebacker adjustment, highlight them, and then you want to flip the stick to the hard flat. And my responsibility when I'm playing against trips, where I've got trips tight end, is basically to wall off the number 3 for any kind of crossing routes, and then kind of look for, basically a levels concept like that. So that type of stuff where you're basically doing a sail concept, you could expect that type of stuff. So we set this up right here. We got 3 wide receivers off to the right and the running back. And all we're really going to do is just go ahead and try to take that stuff off. So you can see if he scrambles, I actually got guys out there that are actually going to chase that down. If you do run into this type of situation where you've got, basically 3 wide receivers over there, you just go ahead and flip it to the bunch side. And you just drop that flat zone out there. And it just makes it a little bit tighter passing lanes for you to actually go ahead and attack your opponent. And another thing you could do too is basically what you can do is you can go ahead and rotate your guys over like this to get a little bit better positioning if you assume that he's going to go and hit the flat. Now, if I do see any kind of a defense like this where it's a setup where it's basically a setup where it is one type of situation like this, I'm going to go ahead and use a defense like so. Where I'm going to go ahead and take this guy. I'm going to play this guy over the middle of the field, which essentially is Ward. And essentially what this does is when I've got a wing formation, I want to try to defend against, any type of, over-the-top type of stuff. If he doesn't do a motion like that. So typically do a motion. I'm going to jump out of that. I'll probably go into cover 4 quarters. So this really gives you a chance to actually adjust to what your opponent's doing and use the right guy. I've got a flat defender out there, so we're just going to go ahead and look for the spot. And you can see he has got nowhere to go with it. Let's go ahead and jump into show you basically a really good play that I like to blend into the scheme, which is against people that run like tight formations or mesh. So let's go ahead and jump into double safeties go. And then we're going to go ahead and run this against a concept, medium pass, and then mesh. Random meshes. All right, so one of the common issues that you have when you play this game is dealing with mesh. It's a very common play. What I've discovered is that cover 3 hard flats works really good against that. And you could just basically quickly audible into it. And this is going to essentially get people out there to take away your mesh concepts. And you're going to have a kind of a trailing concept to go ahead and take care of that for you. So if a guy keeps dumping it down underneath with mesh, all you have to do is just do underneath coverage. That means these guys are going to basically bite a little bit more on the underneath routes. But you can see I'm actually in position there to make a play. This will lock up those wheel routes that a lot of people like to do with mesh. So we're going to do underneath coverage, and we're just going to go ahead and try to take away his easy reads right there. So he's able to go ahead and hit some type of a hitch. I don't know. That's a special mesh coverage that you don't really see with a lot of people unless they're playing spread playbooks. Underneath coverage. If this guy motions out, we're going to be in trouble. No, he doesn't. And we're going to go ahead and just stop those routes and concepts. So basically, mesh is pretty locked up with that. Another, basically you can jump into the 6 Willie. This is just another way to go ahead and attack your opponent with this and actually set this up. So we're going to go have a curl flat out there. Probably want to go ahead and put basically some type of hard flat out there. And what this does is it basically puts a bunch of people trailing, chasing guys, and it makes it a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to play around with this defensive scheme. Obviously, I have to go ahead and make myself some defensive scheme rules against certain types of stuff. But I do like this as a defense that you can go and use against your opponent. It's got a lot of the great stuff that you need. It's going to get a bunch of people down to the box and make it difficult to run against because you got safeties down to the box. You can jump or cover 4 to activate the safeties. You can stay in cover 3. But I'm going to go ahead and establish some type of rules for you guys to look at with this scheme. So once again, thank you for your support, guys. I'll probably put together a little bit more of a comprehensive breakdown of this so you guys can see it. So thank you for your support. Until next time.